Well, John came to Indianapolis in 1984. This young, trash-talking chemical engineer grew up in the mean streets of Baltimore, went to Cornell, then went to Columbia. John surfaced here because he saw an article about Mays Chemical in the Wall Street Journal, and he just took it upon himself to come and investigate. At exactly the same time, we were looking for somebody for our sales position. I didn't know quite what to make of John, but Bill Mays was like, I'm gonna hire this guy.
Even though he's a transplant from Baltimore, he really has a love for Indianapolis. And he's really made an impact here on at whether he knows it or not.
John Thompson worked for Mays Chemical until 2001 when he bought Mutual Pipe and Supply. From there, a series of investments followed. CMID Engineering Inc., First Electric Supply, and BC Countertops, all of which John still manages as Chairman CEO and continues to retain controlling interest.
Each of the organizations he's been involved with have thrived while he was part of in that management role and continued to thrive even after he stepped down from those roles. So I think it's something he puts a lot of energy into and sets the groundwork for a lot of future successes at those groups.
In addition to running his companies, John serves on Heron Capital's Investment Advisory Committee and is a board member of nearly a dozen community foundations and has chaired several of them.
He has built a highly successful business in our community, and along the way he has done extraordinary things as a civic leader. Chairman of the Indianapolis Museum of Art, Chairman of the Chamber, Chairman of Indiana Black Expo.
He has two jobs. It's running his businesses, which he obviously does very well, and then also giving back to his community. I want us all to think about the last time we were gathered in a room like this evening when John wasn't there. And then to think how often we review the rosters of boards of organizations that are important to our community and we don't see John's name, often listed as chair. I think that speaks deeply to John's commitment to a community that he cares deeply about, and it speaks to his generosity. Well, I think that we all have learned from John. I think that he stands as an example. I think I am personally grateful for the way he has lived his life in such a way as to stand as a shining example for all of us to follow. We all want to be more like John Thompson. So I think his mentorship is as broad and far-reaching as it can possibly be.
I drug him into some youth mentoring. He worked with me at Center for Leadership Development when we did some mentoring to high school kids. John would challenge them in math. It was brutal. I mean, John challenging these high school kids in math. I mean, there was no contest. I walked in his office late on a Friday afternoon, and he was in there doing some equations. So I'm thinking there must be some formulation he's working on. And I was like, John, what are you doing? John says, oh, I'm doing some quadratic equations. I said, why? He said, oh, just for fun, just to relax. I was like, okay.
Just knowing John and his exuberance and his love for people, it is no accident that in recognition of his personal gift, we named the social hub on our campus for John and Norma Thompson.
John Thompson is an absolutely unselfish man, but he's also one of those guys that sees opportunity and sees the best in others.